Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In the video we're going to be going through my round 14 AFL tips, and we're in round 14 now. We've just had a cracker of a round, lots of good games. My Saints got the win this round, it was awesome. And then of course the big freeze game a few hours ago, which just played off at the MCG, was also awesome as well. So let's get into these tips, but first of all we've got to do the reviews. I am more than happy to be reviewing this round because my Saints picked up a win on Thursday Night Football against the Swans by 14 points. It was a very close game, and while it was a pretty boring game, it's definitely good that we broke the losing game there. We broke the losing streak at the SCG in Buddy's 350th. It's a bit disappointing that the streak has to break in Buddy's 350th, but either way, it's a bit weird. But yeah, look, it was great that my Saints got the win there and broke the streak. I don't know when the last time was that we won a Thursday night football game, but yeah, look, we got the win there, so I'm stoked about that. And then on the 9th of June, we had a all-time cracker. I decided to go with the power, just thought they'd be too strong in the end and walk away with the win, and I knew it wouldn't be no easy win for them. They got it done by 22 points in the end. The umpires were favouring the power, but they probably were the right calls, to be fair. The Dogs, yeah, they're on a 3-game losing streak now, not looking good for them at the moment. Hopefully they can get some more wins, most of all, hopefully the power, now they have a 10-game winning streak, I believe. Hopefully they can continue that, the power versus Geelong soon. And then we have the Hawks taking on the Lions in an upset. I'm pretty sure this is the only game I got wrong this week. Oh no, I got the Collingwood one wrong as well. I did do good in this round, by the way, pretty good. But yeah, this one was the upset of the round. The Hawks managed to get it done. They have a 4-game winning streak against the Lions. Yeah, look, the Lions, they don't play they play pretty bad at the MCG. But yeah, I thought this year they could win this one, but the Hawks, now my Saints kind of have, an excuse. Maybe the Hawks actually are a good side this season. They might not be finishing in the bottom 4, who knows. But yeah, look, it was a great win there by the Lions. And then we head over to the Adelaide game, and this was an absolute flogging. Taylor Walker, his 250th game, he kicked 10 goals. They absolutely flogged the Eagles out of the park, won by 122 points. And you just do have some questions about the Eagles now. I know they've got injuries. You do have some questions about Simpson now. Yes, most of their team was back, and to lose by 122 points, and then a few weeks ago, just to lose by 116, it is very poor. But yeah, it's very disappointing there. And then the Richmond Tigers, I had faith in them to get it done over the Dockers. The rain came, and I just thought they'll be too strong. Manages to get it done there. Breaking news about Marlon Pickett, I heard last night, robbed some houses over here in WA. Luckily it wasn't mine, so don't have to worry about that. But yeah, breaking news there from Richmond Football Club. And then I just had faith again in the Giants to get this one done. North Melbourne, both sides played pretty good. North Melbourne had a hot start to the game, but fortunately the Giants just took it away in the end. And look, yeah, they managed to get it done, the Giants, by 28 points. North Melbourne, though, you can see they're definitely improving. Even though they're losing, they're at least taking some leads throughout the game, and that's what Ranner's achieving. So we are seeing a much more competitive North Melbourne side. And yeah, look, this year can't be a fail for North Melbourne. They're definitely being way more competitive, which the fans want to see. It's great to see, but yeah, North, they couldn't get over the line. But they still got 11 goals in that game, so they were fairly decent. And then the Blues, just shocking in this one. I know they lost to the Bombers, which was probably expected, but by 30 points. Thought this one would be maybe a bit closer. Tipped Essendon by 17, actually won by half more of the amount. Won by 34. Yeah, the Blues, look at that. At least they can get it inside 50 instead of bombing it now. They got quite a few inside 50s. They just didn't take their chances, and Essendon took a win and walked away. The umpiring was a bit favourite to Essendon. They were favouring them a lot in the game. Probably should have won it though. Essendon, they definitely deserved to win that one. And then a cracker today in the Big Freeze game. I only watched a little bit of it, unfortunately for me. But yes, the Melbourne Demons got it done in the end against the Collingwood Magpies in the Big Freeze. The Big Freeze game. It's great to see the nominees go down the slide, and they managed to hold on. Collingwood kicked more goals, but to be honest, the Demons had 18. I think they had 26 scoring shots, so they definitely deserve to win that one. It's their first game they've won in 6 years against the Collingwood Magpies in the Big Freeze game, so that was great to see for them. But they couldn't get the job done there, the Pies, and their 9-game winning streak does come to the end. But it was a great round, and let's get to the tips. Then, so moving on, we get kick-started off with another Thursday night football game at the Adelaide Oval. We have Port taking on Geelong. Yes, I think there's a couple more rounds of Thursday night football until probably the first week of July, which is great to see. Everyone loves Thursday night football, or most people do at least. This one's a cracker. The odds are going with Port. Can see why. They're absolutely on fire at the moment. Got a 10-game winning streak. Just come off a 22-point win against the Bulldogs in that game. Both sides look, I think Geelong, of course, of coming off another, yes, it was another 22-point win against the Bulldogs as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, though, you can't go against Port here. It's second versus 8th. I think the Cats I could see an upset here. The Cats winning this one because the Power, let's be honest, are probably due for a loss. And in that game, it wasn't their best game of the season. You couldn't say that. Port, they definitely played some better games this year, were poor in some parts of the game, but I'll still stick with Port. You just got to go them with an 11-game winning streak. However, I think they are due for a loss. They're not. I don't feel they can continue this for all the year, Port. But look, I'll go with Port Adelaide to win this one. They should get it done over the line here. I think Port will just be too strong. They should be too strong at least. And I'll go with Port by about 15 points. I feel like they'll just get the job done over the line there and win by 15. And then at the Gabba on Friday night football, we have the Lions taking on the Swans. Both teams coming off losses, and both of the losses have been very disappointing, especially for the Lions. In that game, they played poorly against Hawthorn. They're always in the game, but the Hawks now, they're not too bad. They're actually showing up to games, and they're competitive, and they're starting to win a few more, the Hawks. But yeah, the Lions just too disappointing in that game. And then the Swans unfortunately couldn't get a win in Buddy's 350th against my Saints. We were just too strong in the end and broke the streak at the SCG. It was a bit weird how they did break the streak. I think they had a 14-game losing streak in Buddy's 350th, but we'll keep that aside. Look, at the Gabba, the Lions should get this done. I don't know, maybe this one could pull off an upset, but Lions at the Gabba, they're going to be too strong. Still think they can win all of their games there, but if they played how they did against Hawthorn, maybe not. I don't know if I still have faith in them to go win all their games there at the Gabba. I'm pretty sure they have won all their games at the Gabba so far this year. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they should have. But yeah, I'll go with the Lions. I think, they can show up to this game strong, and I'll tip them in this one. I'll go with the Lions here to get it done. Oh, look, I think they'll probably get it done here I'll go with a margin of 26 points. I think the Swans can hang around though. And then Saturday morning football, we have Sunday afternoon football. Sorry, we have the GWS Giants taking on the Fremantle Dockers. Now, both teams, both teams, Giants picked up a loss. Yes, a win against North Melbourne. I have to remember that game. And then the Dockers picked up got a loss against Richmond. I can't talk, by 15 points. So both sides are pretty even in this game. The odds are just going with the Dockers in this one. It's at Giants Stadium. Look, I feel like I could see a Giants upset. Should I tip the Giants? They've been impressive. They played good against Richmond. They played excellent against North. And, well, it was only North Melbourne, Their stars are just really stepping up now, the Giants. This one's going to be rough to tip. Look, in the wet, I feel like Fremantle probably, they're probably going to lose that game. Both sides are fairly decent at the moment. I'll tip the Dockers, but I'm not going to tip them comfortably. This is going to be no easy game, you know. No game's an easy game, but this one especially is going to be hard. I'll go the Dockers here to win. I think they'll get it done, maybe just get it done over the line. I think this will be another game where the Giants were competitive. They play good against my Saints. They play good against Richmond. They play good against multiple sides this year, just not being able to get the result. But I'll go the Dockers here by 11. Actually, I'll go them by 10. It's going to be no easy task there down at Giants Stadium. But, yeah, I just feel like the Dockers can pick up a win there and get the season back on track. And then at the MCG, we have Saturday Night Football, Richmond taking on St Kilda. And the odds here are going with for Richmond, picking up a nice win against the Dockers at the Optus Stadium. My Saints ending the streak against the Swans at the SCG. Come on, you Saints. We can win this one for sure. Look, this is going to be no easy one to tip. The odds, again, are very even, but they are just going with Richmond. You know, I can understand that. The Saints, they haven't been the best performing team lately, but while the game was low scoring, the Saints, you know, that definitely wasn't our best game. You know, it still meant something special to us and the Swans because it was Buddy's 350th, but we ended the streak there. Of course, I'll stop barracking about that. Look, when the game's 5th versus 12th, you have to go with my Saints. I'll back them in till we verse someone like Brisbane, Port Adelaide, Melbourne, maybe Collingwood, definitely Collingwood also. I'll tip against us. Those top 4 sides I'll tip against us. But when it's 5th versus 12th, you just have to go with us. I'm not going with us just because I want to do a smart tip. I'm going to back us in because I support the Saints, obviously. So I'm not going to do smart tipping here. But I feel like we can actually get the job done. Last time we bet Richmond by 33 points. And I think that game was at Marvel. But I'll go the Saints to win this one by 13 points. Look, hopefully we can get the win here and keep our season alive. Keep our season to run to play in September. So hopefully we can do that. But then we head over to Sunday afternoon football. You have the Blues taking on the Suns. And the Blues, you know, they weren't too disappointing. They still can't score over 60, the Blues. They're still a disappointment either way, no matter how many scoring shots they had. You know, the Bombers just got the win in the end by 34 points. But, it was just another average game from the Blues, to be honest. Look, at the MCG, I think the Suns can get it done, but it's at the MCG, and Carlton are probably due for a win, let's be honest, but the Suns have just been fighting in more games, and they definitely deserve my tip here, the Suns. I'm going to go with the Suns here. They've just been the better side this year out of the two. I'm not tipping Carlton until they can get a good win. They can at least score over 75 points, the Blues, and actually pick up a decent win. I know it's at the MCG and the odds are just going with Carlton, but I think I have hope in the Suns. I feel like they definitely deserve my tip. So, yeah, we'll go with the Suns. And then at Marvel Stadium on Sunday afternoon football, we have North Melbourne taking the Dogs. Now, this one will be a pretty good clash. Obviously, I probably am going to tip the Bulldogs here, but, you know, this is, again, no easy task. Under Brett Radden, I feel like North Melbourne could actually pick up a win, you know. I feel like they've been very competitive in the games. However, in the Giants game, I thought they'd be a little more competitive. The fact that maybe more people did tip North in that one. I tipped Giants. But, yeah, I only tipped the Giants by 1 point. They managed to get it done by an extra 27 points. But under Brett Radden, you know, North Melbourne, they've been scoring a bit more heavier and they've been more competitive. So they're definitely improving. And, you know, they're actually leading in games by probably around 20 points or under. So it's great to see that North Melbourne are doing that. But, look, I'm just going to go with the Dogs. There's not really much to say. Look, I think the Dogs will be, you know, fairly decent in this one. They'll go get the job done by 27 points at the end of the day. Yeah, I just think the Dogs will walk away with a win. Anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. If you did enjoy, please do hit the like and subscribe button. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.